Oh, by the way, this is a viewer request. Everybody wanted me to wear the handmade leather pants that I made in a video, so here they are. Very comfortable. There's nothing like being able to make your own clothing. However, in the case of these pants, you realize that there's $150 of leather there, and then you put in like $100 of your own labor. So you got the satisfaction of it, but then you realize that there's like $250 of labor and leather per pants. So I don't get, this is not a personal video, but I wanted to make a note of something and tell a very, very brief little story. Social media is strange. Doesn't matter whether you like me or not, but social media is extremely weird in, certain aspects. It's amazing some of the things people will email me or say. I know I'm fat, bald, and tattooed, but I don't, I'm not selling anything to anybody. But I want to tell a little story. And this is where people assume stuff, and we're all guilty of this to, a degree, one way or the other, of assuming things about people we've never met and we don't know. So let me tell you a story about October of 2019, which is a hair over a year ago. I went to Photokina in New York City. Wonderful. I was there for 3 days. I didn't actually get to see it, even though I was there for 3 days. And there's a reason for that, and that'll tell you something. I like to tell this brief little story, it doesn't matter if somebody likes me or they hate me or otherwise, but let's be honest. And maybe somebody that met me up there will leave a comment below. I'm sure there will be some. And I ran into some other photography YouTube channels. I won't say who they are. I didn't go up to them or anything. They're very standoffish. I saw 4 of them. I talked to one of them because we basically bumped into each other. Very, very nice, cordial little conversation, but also very standoffish. And I'll tell you what they did and what I saw, and then I'll tell you what I did. And, if I'm lying, I'm dying. I don't care if you believe me or not, but this is exactly what happened. These YouTube photography channels, they had their own little entourage, or maybe it was security, maybe it's both security and entourage, and they completely kept to themselves. And I saw 2 instances, and I wasn't following them or nothing like that. They were there in my sight as I was looking at actually a camera being demonstrated at the Nikon booth, and very, very standoffish, where someone would come up and they'd say hey, and they just didn't talk or interact with anybody. They did not. Now, they did interact with some of the camera manufacturing representatives. I saw that on a few occasions, but they didn't interact with the people. And here's what I did, and this is why when I was at Photokina for 3 days, I didn't get a chance to see Photokina. There was a whole other event slightly down the street, like a block away, and I never even got to go to it. Not that I'm complaining. And I didn't get to see New York City at all, but I wasn't there for that. I was there to see people. But I didn't get to see Photokina, and the reason for that is I must have hugged no less than 1,000 people. It sounds like an exaggeration, but it's not. I went out to lunch with several people every day, and I went to dinner with large groups of people that I was invited to. I was hugging and joking, and man, I can't even believe, of course you can't do that today because of what's going on, right? But I was hugging so many hundreds and hundreds of people. I didn't get a chance to see anything at Photokina. I would have actually liked to talk to some of them. I did get a chance to talk to one. I talked to the Viltrox lady. And I said, oh yeah, we like your videos, it's like, yeah, your lenses are great and they're very inexpensive. But when you start assuming stuff about people you never met, whether that's me or any other YouTube channel, it's not the wisest thing, because I didn't know, nor did I care, what any of the other YouTube channels that were there were doing, but they were very standoffish, and they were not mingling with people, whereas I was hugging hundreds and hundreds of people, literally, and I was stopped every 5 feet. I mean, it sounds like an exaggeration. Every 5 feet or 10 feet, I was stopped and like, oh my God, hey, nice to meet you. And I was hugging everybody, almost everybody. And, the folks out there that think I'm angry, I've been through a lot in life. So, and I do have PTSD because of enormous amounts of stress. But the person that you think is angry is actually really friendly. And the people that you think are so friendly in person, turns out they're not. That doesn't make me better than them, but kind of does. But the point is that social media is really strange. When you start assuming stuff about a lot of people, it's not good. And we are all guilty of that. I'm guilty, not as guilty as, but we're all guilty of it. And I didn't make this video after Photokina talking about that fact. And I have mentioned it a couple of times in live streams. But also, too, I was giving out free stuff to people. One of the most fun things I ever had in the world is that I was, I'm sorry this story is going on a little further than I thought, is that I got there early and I got to go inside and I actually got to get an enormous stack of hats. And I even made 2 trips, I mean like hundreds of hats. And there are people lined up to get inside to Photokina because it hasn't opened yet. And one of the most fun things I ever did was I had a bag full of pins and stuff, and I was given permission to pass out all these hats. I was passing out hats to everybody. It was so much fun. I felt like Santa Claus. I really, really, really enjoyed that, and I basically never enjoy anything. Usually because I'm always so stressed out and worn out and stressed about bills and other garbage, but yeah. I started calling myself angry, but not only am I not angry, I do have a low tolerance for nonsense and BS. This is undeniable, but I'm not angry at all. I mean, as long as someone is not, a complete wackadoodle or, just being crazy with me, I'm extremely friendly, and I enjoyed meeting everybody up there. I can't believe how many hundreds and hundreds. It was way over. It had to have been at least 1,000 different people I hugged. Not creepy hugs, the sort of amicable hugs. Well, I didn't, by the way, like volunteer hugs to any female people, like shook their hands or, they would reach out or hug me. And it was really nice. I enjoyed meeting all those people. It was fun, and so that's what happened. I really wanted to tell that story, and I realized yesterday that I never told that story. And I was surprised at how some of those other YouTubers were so standoffish. They were literally like tuning everybody else out around them. And I was like, hey, someone would say hey to me, like, hey, and I'd go over and talk to them and shake their hand or hug them, and they'd ask me a question and pick my brain. I was like, yeah, So, sorry if you hated this video, but I really did want to tell that story, so thanks, and goodbye. How you like the leather pants? If you want to make fun of me, make fun of the handmade leather pants that I made. It's cool, you'll be able to make your own clothing. Yeah? Yeah, they're kind of like a chocolate brown. Yeah, they're very comfortable and really, really expensive. Like, usually when you make something yourself, it's very cheap. But quality leather is really, really expensive. So, yeah, here they are. Here's my... Hey, look, they've even got nice pockets on them. Isn't that nice? Nice? Yeah. And they got stitching up the back. They got leather lace stitching. Yeah. Thanks. Someone's going to go, this is a strange video.